Hereafter, we have reading on spiritual instructions by Sri Ramakrishna by a devotee, Shri Jyotisman Dasgupta. Shri Jyotisman Dasgupta, I may just briefly introduce, is a naval architect by profession, and he has received initiation, Guru Mantra, from most revered Vireshwaranandaji Maharaj in 1984. Shri Jyotisman Dasgupta.
ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Respected Swami Tattvarupanandaji, Swami Buddhanandaji, Baru Maharaj, Swami Satyadevanandaji, revered monks of the Ramakrishna Bhattan mission, and assembled devotees and young friends, please accept my sincere pranam and good wishes. I'm extremely grateful and given this opportunity to read on selected teachings of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Dev. I shall read from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, chapter 32. Visit to Shri Brahma Samaj. Visit to Shri Brahma Samaj, date 19th October 1884, page number 532 of the compiled Gospel. Excuse me. I quote, "It was the occasion of the autumn festival of the Samaj, which was being celebrated at Beni Madhav Pal's garden house. The hall was decorated with flowers and greens, flags and festoons of various colors. Outside, the blue autumn sky with its fleecy clouds was reflected in the water of the lake. Sri Ramakrishna arrived at 4:30 in the afternoon. Entering the hall, he bowed down before the altar. The Brahma devotees sat around him. A sub-judge, who was a member of the Brahma Samaj, was with them. At Master's request, Trailakya, a devotee, sang, "O Mother, make me mad with thy love. Amai dema pagal kore, Brahmamai. What need have I of knowledge or reason?" As he listened to the song, the Master's mind underwent a transformation, and presently he went into deep samadhi. Coming down a little to the plane of the sense world, he gave instructions to the devotees. His mind was still charged with the divine experience. His words were spoken as if in a state of intoxication. Gradually, he became again fully conscious of the world. "Master, O Mother, I don't want the bliss of divine inebriation. I want to eat siddhi." To the devotees he said, "By siddhi I mean the attainment of spiritual goal and not one of the 8 occult powers. For powers surely beget pride, and the God cannot be realized if there is the slightest trace of pride." Then he talked about the 4 classes of devotees. According to a certain school of thought, there are 4 classes of devotees: the pravartaka, the sadhaka, siddha, and the siddha of the siddha. He who has just begun religious life is a pravartaka. Such a man puts his denominational marks on his body and forehead, wears a rosary around the neck, and scrupulously follows other conventions. Sadhaka has advanced further. Excuse me. His desire for outer show has become less. He longs for the realization of God and prays to him sincerely. He repeats the name of God and calls on him with a guileless heart. Now, whom should we call the Siddha? Excuse me. He who has absolute conviction that God exists and is the sole doer. He who has seen God. And who's the Siddha of the Siddha? He who has not merely seen God, but has intimately talked with him as Father, Son, or Beloved. It is one thing to believe beyond a doubt that fire exists in wood, but it is quite another to get the fire from the wood, cook rice with its help, appease one's hunger, and so be satisfied. These are two entirely different things. No one can put a limit to spiritual experience. If you refer to one experience, there's another beyond that, and still another, and so on. Then he gives an advice to the Brahmas. In an ecstatic mood, referring to the Brahmas, he said, they are Brahmagyanis. They believe in the formless deity that is good. And to the Brahma devotees, he said, be firm in one ideal, either in God with form or in the formless God. Then alone will you realize God, otherwise not. With firm and unwavering belief, the followers of God with form will realize him, and will those who speak of him as formless. You may eat a cake with icing, either straight or sidewise. It will taste sweet either way. All laugh. But you must have firm conviction. You must pray to him wholeheartedly. After speaking briefly about the faith of the worldly-minded people, he said, you must be firm in one ideal. Dive deep, otherwise you cannot get the gems at the bottom of the ocean. You cannot pick up the gems if you only float on the surface. Then in his sweet voice he sang, dive deep, O mind, dive deep in the ocean of God's beauty. Doob, 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 roop shagori amar mon. Then to the assembled Brahmo devotees he said, dive deep, learn to love God. Plunge into divine love, you see. I have heard how you pray. Why do you Brahmos dwell so much on the glories of God? Is there such great need of your saying over and over again, O God, you have created the sky, the great oceans, the lunar world, the solar world, and the stellar world? Everybody is wonder-struck at the mere sight of a rich man's garden house. People become speechless at the sight of the trees, the flowers, the ponds, the drawing room, the pictures. But how few are they who seek the owner of all these? Only one or two inquire about him. He who sees God with a longing heart can see him. Talk to him as I am talking to you. Believe my words when I say that God can be seen. To whom am I saying all these words? Who will believe me? Can one find God in sacred books? By reading the scriptures, one may feel at the most that God exists. But God does not reveal himself to a man unless he himself dives deep. Only after such a plunge, after the revelation of God through his grace, is one's doubt destroyed. One may read scriptures by the thousands and recite thousands of texts, but unless you plunge into God with a yearning heart, you will not comprehend him. By mere scholarship, you may fool man, but not God. Scriptures and books, what can one achieve with these alone? Nothing can be realized without his grace. Strive with a longing heart for his grace. Through his grace, you will see him, and he will talk to you. Then he advised to the worldly minded and talked about the prayer in solitude. The sub-judge who was there asked, Sir, must we renounce the world? Master, no. Why should you? A man can realize God even in the world, but at the beginning he must spend a few days in solitude. He must practice spiritual discipline in a solitary place. Live in the world to realize God. Hold fast unto his lotus foot lotus feet with one hand, and with the other do your duties. When you get a respite from your duties, cling to God's lotus feet with both hands. Live in solitude and meditate on Him, and serve Him ceaselessly. Sages like Janaka, Vyasa, and Vasishtha lived in the world after attaining knowledge. They fenced with two swords, the one of knowledge and the other of action. When one has knowledge, one does not see God anymore at a distance. One does not think of Him anymore as He. He becomes this. Then he is seen in one's own heart. God dwells in every man. He who seeks God realizes Him. Unquote. There finishes the reading. Let me say a few words. In writing Sri Ramakrishna Leela Prasanga, that is Sri Ramakrishna the Great Master, Swami Sharadanandaji began with writing part 3. As a spiritual teacher, part 1, emphasizing Thakur's extraordinary life as a spiritual teacher. In writing the preface, Swami Sharadananda wrote, "The Master said to us in unambiguous language, again and again, that the one who in the past became Rama and Krishna is showing his own body in this sheath now, and the spiritual experience of this has gone beyond those recorded in the Vedas and Vedantas." Swami Vivekananda initiating the first chapter of part 3, the Hindu religion and Sri Ramakrishna, composed 2 Sanskrit verses echoing the same thought and unequivocally proclaiming that the ever-renowned divine personality, the one who came earlier as Sri Rama and later as Sri Krishna, is now born as Ramakrishna. He called out, Sri Bhagavan Ramakrishna, the founder of this new religion of the age, is the reformed manifestation of the ancient holy founders of the universal religion in the past, meaning the Vedas. Have faith in it, O man, and grasp it. I sincerely solicit your indulgence in excusing all the mistakes or errors I may have committed during my reading. Echoing Swami Abhidanandaji's wonderful prayer, Sri Ramakrishna Ashtakam, let us pray. Mayang samashritta karoshi leelam bhaktan samudhartam anantamurti He Ramakrishna tvai bhaktihine He Ramakrishna tvai bhaktihine kripa kataksham Gurudeva Nityam, Kripa Kataksham, Gurudeva Nityam. Om Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you.
A request, Shrivet Swami Satyadevanand Ji Maharaj to please felicitate Shri Jyotisman Dasgupta. Thank you, Jyotisman, for sharing those wonderful teachings of Sri Ramakrishna from the Gospel, from Kathamrita, from Leela Prasanga, both. Thank you so much.